Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Daily Fuel. Hang on a sec while I get this going. Gotta turn the sound off. So much to do. Anyway, it's great to be here. Welcome to the replay. My name is Bobby, and I am the host of this group, The Spiritual Artist, and this is Daily Fuel. And do me a favor, if you're watching in the replay, let me know that you're here. Put a hashtag replay, hashtag replayer, hashtag replay. I don't know. Make one up. I like them. And if you're joining live, like some people I see, do me a favor and start commenting. Say hello. Let me know that you're here. And let me see if I can see who's here. Mikey's here. Amy is watching. Kelly is watching. Hi, guys. How you doing? And, sometimes it tells me who's watching. Kelly is watching again. I don't know why it does that. Robin has flowers. Thanks, guys. Sorry it's a little late tonight, or not sorry. Oh, I forgot to put the dog away. Whatever. Actually, I couldn't put... it doesn't matter. Stop walking on my head. All right. That's not going to work. Yeah, today, sorry, it's late tonight because I usually, and I'm full because I just had dinner and I'm ready to relax now, but we can get going on this. Usually what I like to do is at the end of the day, I do Daily Fuel and I'm all pumped and then I go upstairs and I'm all like, let's have dinner and I be with my family and everything like that. But tonight my daughter is working late. She's a high school senior, and she used to be a competitive gymnast when she was littler, and up until just a couple years ago. And but now she's a coach at the gym where she grew up competing. So tonight she was doing a one-on-one class with somebody. So she usually only works till around 7, but tonight she was working till late. Anyway, here I am. Somebody says, hello, Bobby. Oh, that's Marsha. Hi, Marsha. How you doing? Marsha, have you ever clicked that Ecamm link to allow the permissions? I don't know if you're not showing up because it still doesn't work or if you just never clicked that link. Let me know. I would like to know which one you did, or whatever. Anyway, okay, let's get started. Simple. Tonight is not simple. Richard's here. Okay, I'm gonna ignore the comments now. Keep commenting though if you're here live. I like the comments. I'll come back at the end and I'll read them. Yeah, today was not simple. Today's thing is simple because I have been really scaling down my business and what I'm trying to do with it. And I'm going to explain. I'm not going to explain the business, but I'm going to explain the concept of what I'm talking about. So I happen to be an over-explainer, and I alluded to this in the text today, but my wife calls me that, the over-explainer, because people will ask me questions, especially my kids, and they'll be like, oh, look at that thing. Why is it like that? You know, it could be the most mundane thing. And I have a half an hour answer about going all the way back to ancient Greece or ancient Rome and how they started the thing that now we do with it. And my daughter is just like, my daughter is so funny when she imitates me. She's like, you could ask Daddy a question and he'll be like, well, you see the blah blah blah, and that's not false. So that's what I am. I'm the over-explainer. I tend to over-explain things a bit, as I am doing now. But I came up with 3 things that I wanted to talk about this. The first 2 are reasons I think that we overcomplicate things, because I think as artists we can overcomplicate things. We get in our heads and we just make things more complicated than they need to be. And I came up with a couple reasons why, and then the third thing is a remedy that I'm trying to work on. It's not that difficult, but it's simple. Okay, so number 1 is, I think... And these are things that I do, and maybe you can think of other things, but I think about what other people think, right? I think about what I think other people are thinking, and I try to create stuff that matches what I think other people are thinking about and what they want, what they expect, what I think will be appealing to them. And I put the needs of other people, not even their actual needs, but the ones that I make up. And I put that over my own needs and wants, instead of saying, what the heck do I want to make, you know? I've been thinking about this specifically in terms of my business lately, because as I'm scaling it down and really paring it down and shaving away all the excess, I realize, wow, I really do this. I just throw so much stuff in there. And especially when this thing that I'm working on, the original idea for it was so scaled up, and I didn't understand why until I did. Because I think that some things are so easy for me. The things that I do have become so easy for me to do. I am a good artist. I'm a good this. I'm a good that. And now I'm creating things to sell, And they have become so easy for me to do because they are my talent. They are my core genius. That because they're easy, they to me don't have any value. Right? Other people look at things that I do and are like, holy shit, how did you do that? And to me, it's just like, what do you mean, how did I do it? It's just, I just do it. I don't know. And it just, it's done, And so that doesn't really have any value that I perceive to be able to sell it. Like, who would pay for that? I just spit. Sorry. It's like, who would pay for that, But the truth is, a lot of people would pay for that. And, I see, like, I know that I'm talented. I know that things are easy for me. And on top of all of that, I have created processes for how I work so that it's even faster for me. It's kind of like there's a story that I like to think about when it comes to business. And it's easy for me to tell the story and see the point because I tell it for a different business that's not mine. You think of like the plumber, right? Plumbers are a skilled trade. And I'm sure you've heard this story. It's not even a story. It's like a parable, right? So the person calls the plumber because their pipes have exploded or the thing is broken and everything's getting ruined and save us. And the plumber comes and fixes it in 5 seconds and gives them a bill for $10,000. And they're like, $10,000? It took you 5 seconds to fix that thing. And the answer is, yeah, it's $50 for my time and $9,950 for learning how to do it and applying it in such a way that I could have fixed this problem for you and not cost. You understand the point, right? It's like I put so much time and effort and energy into my trade, into my work, into my skills, into my talent, that when I go to do something for somebody and I was like, oh, I know what I can do. I can do this. Oh, I'm done. Well, gee, that only took 5 minutes. Maybe I'll sell that for $5. But somebody else might look at it who doesn't know how to do that or get such perceived value out of it that they're like, $5? Are you insane? You could sell that for $6, right? So here's the remedy: is that I have been reviewing everything that I do. See, the problem that I've come up with is that my idea for the business product that I want to sell was so scaled up, so ridiculous. I was throwing everything plus the kitchen sink in there because I thought that the thing that I really just want to make didn't have any value, but maybe if I did this too, then I could sell it, and it would have value. But I didn't want to do this thing too. I just want to do this, and I just want to, whatever. You understand, right? So I've been paring it down and I've been looking at things and just saying, is this part necessary? Is this part necessary? Is this part something that I actually want to do? Is there a simpler way to do this? And I've pared it down to such a simple thing that I'm excited to make it. And now I've been working on realizing that just because I can do it in a lot less time than other people doesn't mean it has no value. It just means that I'm really smart and figured out how to do what I do really, really well. So, okay, let's that's today's lesson. Let's go to the thing. Oh, I see Amy's here. Wow, it's late in the UK, but thanks for making it, Amy. I hope everything's okay over there. I know you got a thing. I have clicked on the link, but we'll do again. Okay, if you could, Marcia, that'd be great. Amy, we like to use all the words in the dictionary. I don't know what that means. Okay, Robin, thinking about what other people are thinking is the worst because usually what you think they think is not even close to what they really are thinking. I think you're right. Barbara, hi Barbara, how you doing? I gave that up thinking about what others are thinking about with my art, actually. For years, I worked painstakingly to create things that I thought someone would want and not what I enjoyed creating. And now I enjoy it no matter what. And I'm seeing a difference. That's awesome. I just got to angle this back. I've got it. I can't see it because the monitor. I need the monitor angled back so I can read it at this distance. That's really great, Barbara. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's got to be what I want to make. I talk about my friend Landon all the time, and he's working on something for his business. And I asked him on Friday. I said, this thing that you're making, I said, how much did you do, like all this market research to figure out that this is what people actually want? He's like, no, I gave up on that. He's like, I really want to make this thing. This is my dream. I just want to make this thing. And I know that there are people out there who are going to want it. And I was like, well, yeah, I think so too. And it was like, it was good to hear that, because I was coming to the realization that I just want to make the thing that I want to make. You know, I've said this a million times. It's like, I didn't want to start a group so I could sell a course or be a coach and, like with coaching programs, like an hourly thing or a group thing. It's like, I don't want to do any of that stuff. I want to make the thing I'm making. So good for you, Barbara. And Kelly's here. Hey, how you doing? Skilled trades are great for making money. Art is great for experiencing the flow of life. Yes. And I also think that they're good for making money too. I think that we can make money from our art if we want to. If you want art to be the way that you make money, I think we can. We all can, and there are ways to do it. But I know what your point is there. It's like a lot of people. My daughter. I'm talking about her a lot tonight, but it's relevant. She is in high school. She's a senior, and a lot of her friends are saying, "Oh, I'm going to college to be a physical therapist," because they make a lot of money or whatever, and the whole idea is they're going to school to learn a thing that they perceive, or their parents perceive, as a good, solid job and career path. And she's like, like 10 of them told me this. I bet 1 or 2 of them will actually like it, Meanwhile, she's going to art school, and wherever that takes her, I'm trying to impart on her that you have to follow your heart and find ways to make a living from it, rather than find ways to make a living and then see if you can fit your heart in it. Because guess what? It doesn't fit. Robin says, and when I play out a whole conversation in my mind, it either stops me or allows me to forge ahead on a wrong assumption, which is hardly ever good. Yeah, you right? The conversations in your head. They don't work. They're not right. Richard says, so I get intimidated by artists because I caveman. Oh, I'm sorry, because I do caveman from hand. Wait. I get intimidated by artists because I do caveman from hand to the simple, the complex type. So when I make my photos and art, I get anxiety big time because I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm following you there. When I make my photos and art, I do cave. Are you saying that you cave or you do caveman? I'm not sure what caveman means. I'm very sorry. I'm not 100. I get the gist of what you're saying, but the words trip me up, and I apologize for that. Amy says, used to always think what other people think in every possible way they might think. Yeah, in every possible way, right? Oh my God. And but what if people want this? Or what if they won't read that much? Or what if the video is too long? And it's like, oh my God. These are the things I think. Gets tiring in the end, and it's something that can become overwhelming. It's good to have stopped reviewing all their reviews of the thing. Yeah, good for you. Mikey says, the intent of my music is to make complexity seem simple. Nice. Meanwhile, the simplest lyrics have many levels, and the simplest sounding progressions are intrinsically complex. That's true. That is really, really true. Nice job, Mikey. Barbara says, I say the same with regards to value. I have a hard time with that too, trying to figure out what it's worth, right? But as I grow and my self-confidence grows, I realize my worth, and it is reflected in my art. Absolutely. Just mentioning something that Landon said to me again on Friday. He said that, unless you're selling a commodity like bread, right? You go to the store and you buy a loaf of bread. There's a price that you expect to pay for bread. It's the same as every other loaf of bread everywhere else. You wouldn't go into a store and buy a loaf of bread that was $800. It's just like, I don't care how good this bread is. I'm not paying that much money for it. It's a commodity, right? Milk, all the things that kind of stuff. But anything that we make, there is no commodity. There's only one of you, and you can only make so many of them, right? So, nothing that we make is a commodity, and anything that we make has whatever value we decide it has. Because if we can position ourselves and if we have the confidence to say, how come somebody who's an artist can make a painting and sell it for $1 million, and somebody else who's an artist can barely sell an original oil on canvas for $5? Is it because they're not as good an artist? Maybe they can be a little bit better, but they're not $1 million difference. You know what I mean? In talent. The $1 million person decided my art is worth $1 million, and that's it. And I'm going to showcase it, and I'm going to put it in places, and I'm going to do the legwork to get into the places where the people who would pay $1 million for a piece of painting will see it. And the $5 guy is putting it on Facebook Market going, does anybody like this? And no, because you're putting it in front of the wrong people. You're positioning it wrong. Everything that we make as artists has whatever value we decide it has. And then we will attract the people around us who will go like, yeah. And if they don't go, yeah, they'll just leave. You don't need them. So, yes, figure out your own worth, Barbara. Very, very good. Kelly says, the first few things I posted in this group, I cringed while sharing because it wasn't anything complex or intricate. Childish, maybe. And now I sort of have embraced that I am a child. That I simply am a child. And my most loving expressions come from that simplicity and the courage to express it. Nice. Sorry, Bobby, hadn't commented a novel in a while. You're not the only one anymore, so I don't know what to tell you. Everybody's writing novels for me these days, and it's great. Look at this epic poem that Danielle has written now that I'm going to read. That's really good, though, Kelly. Keep commenting and keep posting. I love everything you're doing. Hey, says Danielle. Hey, Danielle, how you doing? This group helped me simply be myself and my work. Remember Bobby Donahue? I used to do portraits. Yes, I discovered those figures I now draw after I joined this group. I love drawing them. I will eventually start offering them for sale. Excellent. That's great news. And I love the painting that you finally finished. That was really beautiful. Richard says primitive. Caveman, right? So you go caveman. I understand it now. Okay. Sometimes in conversation, I can hear the inflection in your voice. It's like, I go caveman, you know? But when I read it, I go caveman, and I didn't know, like, was there a comma there? I got you now. You go primitive. You go back into yourself. I'm with you, dude. I'm totally with you. Barbara wrote an essay. I am glad to learn I am not the only one whose mind works this way. Yeah. We're all human, and we all have these voices in our heads telling us what people might think or not think. Don't do that. No one will like it. Yeah, right? No one will like it. That's what we worry about. Who says? Says who? Do it anyway. Those words in our head are lies anyway. You know what? And if you show it to people and they still don't like it, you're just showing it to the wrong people. I promise. Anything that you have the heart and desire to make, there are people who are going to love it. Absolutely going to love it. And you just got to do the work to find them. And that's that. Simplifying my goals has given me the time to perfect things I want to achieve with relaxed love and joy. Nice. Richard says, I meant my art is organic from land or simple. Yes, I understand what you mean, dude. And I'm really loving your art, so keep it up. Marcia says, most people will try to talk you down on price no matter what the merchandise is. That's true. I have learned to hold firm on a price along with an explanation of why. Sometimes my mouth can be a worse enemy though, and you lose a sale. Yeah, I know. Losing a sale can be definitely hard, especially if you're self-employed. And I think that's why it's not as simple as I explained it. the other half of why I make things so overcomplicated is because I get into conversations with clients. I'm specifically talking about my old website business, okay? That I would try to figure out how to put everything plus the kitchen sink into the projects, or I would allow myself to get talked down in price because it got so easy for me to do what I do that I would feel bad charging a lot of money. And then I would look at other people who had a web design business that would charge 10 times what I would charge for the same kind of work. And it boggled my mind. It's like and it wasn't just that I didn't understand how they could charge that much. I couldn't understand how they could find people willing to pay it. Because as I just explained, I was positioning myself in front of people who did not see the value in what I did. I saw my value as how much time I was putting into a project. And so that's who I got back. And I can remember one time I was on the phone with a client. We were looking at his website over the phone, him on his computer, me on mine. And he was like, oh, and this needs to be fixed. I'm like, hang on, I'm logged in. And I just fixed something. It was text. I fixed text. And I said, hit refresh. And it was refreshed and it was fixed. He's like, oh, that's much better. And then about a week or a month later or whatever, we were talking about some other thing, and he asked me to do it, and I said, okay, but that's going to be like $500 or $1,000 or whatever. He's like, how come? I said, well, it takes time. I got to do it. He's like, you did that other thing in like 2 seconds on the phone. Why can't you just do it? It's like he didn't see any value in me, and I was just like, why are you my client? Why did I say yes to you as a client? You see me as a guy delivering bread, and we're haggling over a nickel, and he's not my client anymore. So, yeah, exactly, Marcia. Kelly says, one of the first things that I remember you sharing in the group at all was about how you only wanted to attract those that liked what you were doing, similar vibe type deal. And that really stuck out to me. That's the most beautiful simplicity. Yeah. And thank you for that, Kelly. I think, there's more. My art expresses my heart. My vibe attracts my tribe. And where I am with all you lovely folks. That's cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. Like I've said before, I started this group. I didn't really have a goal in mind for starting the group other than to surround myself with people that got me. And it's helped me tremendously, and it's helped me get to this point where I know what I want to create, and I've pared it down and I've simplified it down to just its core genius essence. And I'm not going to put anything else into it, because anything else wouldn't be anything that I want to add to it. It would just be what I think you would want so that it would be worth $5. Not doing it. Danielle, I meant simplified myself. Okay, I don't remember what we said, but I'm sure I read it right. Barbara says, yes, on showing it to the wrong people if they don't like it. Yes, the right people will. Yeah, they will. They absolutely will. Time spent, Kelly says, time spent equals value. Right, okay, so comparing value to time spent, like time spent equals value. That's the trap of real world we were indoctrinated into. Absolutely. Congrats and thanks for moving yourself out of it and rallying our hearts toward the same end. Absolutely. You're welcome, and thank you for being here. That's just, that's it. Time, I did this before. I think I remember. Time, I was making time be the value, and it's not. It's the vision. The vision is the value. So what you create is the value. That inspiration that you get from your spirit to create something. And yet sometimes it takes time, and sometimes it just spills out of you. And if you did it faster, that doesn't make it any less valuable or precious or amazing. It just means you're good. Amy says, know your worth, and those that know your worth will happily pay the price you have worked to earn. Very good. 1:30 a.m. night all. Good night. It's just funny going back to the time spent equals value thing, because if you could do it faster, that means you're good, right? Think about this for a minute. Imagine in just this analogy of sports just popped in my head. Imagine, I hope this makes sense. Imagine a sports player, right? The greatest baseball players are the ones who can hit, like, I don't know, I'm making up number, 100 home runs in a season, right? But then if you took another person who played a baseball career of 10 seasons and hit 100 home runs over 10 seasons, you wouldn't say that that guy was better than the guy who hit 100 home runs in one season because it took him longer. He spent more time on it, and therefore he's better and it's more valuable. No, if you could hit 100 home runs in one game, you'd be the most amazing player ever, right? That would be a really long game, but still, that would be, that would be amazing. So that's the point. Why do we do that? Why do we think that if it takes us longer, that it's worth more? It doesn't. All right. Well, anyway, that's that. I hope that analogy made sense. It made sense to me, but I'm full and I'm tired. So I'm going to go now. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with me. As usual, I always appreciate it, and it's always great to see your essays that I get to read here. And Amy is the last thing, and so you get the booby prize tonight. But you know what? She's gone. So, Kelly, you were the second to last. You can have it. I'll send one to Amy anyway because she's the one. She actually made the booby prizes, so she can have one too. Amy and Kelly can have the booby prize tonight. All right, guys. You guys have a great night or day or whatever. Oh, and Richard said thank you. So, you know what? Neither one of you gets the booby prize now. Richard does. So, you snooze, you lose. What am I going to do? Goodbye. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. Thanks. Bye.